Welcome back to the channel. And today we want to talk Andrew Yang and the CNN climate crisis town hall meeting we got. So many of you all got a chance to see that. And who was this person who showed up at this CNN town hall under the subject of climate change and just totally killed it? Is that the talented Mr. Yang? And yes, it is him, and he's back. So, what I'm noticing about Andrew Yang, if you've kind of been a little bit uncertain about his performance in the media up until now, if you've been a little concerned about it, I think this showed that we have quite the competent candidate in Andrew Yang. This is a person who's assertive, who knows his stuff, who controlled that topic, was well prepared for it. And it's something about good preparation. Good preparation channels through and follows through on performance oftentimes. And that showed with Andrew Yang in this CNN town hall. Now, we had kind of talked about Chris Cuomo interview a little bit later, and that toward the end it got a little bit iffy, and that's not what we want to see with Andrew Yang. But what I'm starting to discover with Andrew Yang is this: he's done this before, right? I've seen him do great interviews, really command the conversation with certain people, and then he gets in there with other people, and it's kind of, he kind of falters a bit, not quite the same. So the thing is, they're probably not going to ask him a question that they haven't asked him already, right? So Andrew's probably already thought and heard some variation of the questions they asked in one form or another. And so what I'm beginning to understand with Andrew Yang is I don't even think it's the topics. I think it might just be the environment, the setting, and the people more so than the topic, because that's the only thing seems to change in these scenarios. Other than that, Andrew Yang is a very competent, capable candidate who just performs over par, in some situations over others. In particular with how he handled the climate change topic at the CNN town hall. I mean, I had to give him like a 10 for this. I thought he just hit a perfect score on all of this. Even how he tied in the freedom dividend with how to deal with when you need to relocate people and a variety of things. He used to tie that in and also show how the freedom dividend can aid in that to a degree. Also, being very clear to say that it is not going to solve every problem, and how people try to contain it to that is a great misunderstanding of what the freedom dividend is all about. Freedom dividend, as Andrew puts it, is to get the boots off your necks so that you can focus enough on important topics so you can eat at least, so your brain functions, so you can think. Because obviously, if you're worried about basic necessities, if you can't handle a $400, $500 emergency, then you're not going to be putting climate change at the top of your list. You're going to be just trying to survive. Now, we also know that the climate change initiative that Andrew has proposed is quite ambitious, right? It's about a $4 to $5 trillion plan, and it's very detailed, and it really hits at these problems, I think, in a realistic fashion, what we need to start doing and the steps we could take at this point, right, to get things underway. And this is very important to Andrew's campaign, because what it's starting to show people, really show people, is that it's just not the freedom dividend that Andrew's good at, a problem that in the economy that Andrew's good at solving. He's now able to address, to some, the biggest issue and biggest problem on the planet today, and that is climate change. So he's headed that off. He's also headed off an uncertain economy going into recession, going into another industrial revolution. So Andrew's doing a tremendous job. Now, this is the Andrew Yang we want to show up at every media event after this, right? Because, at this point, what questions can they ask Andrew that he hasn't already addressed through this process, right? He has no scandals, he has no political history, so they're not going to bring up past events. There's not much else can be done other than asking these questions pretty much straightforward, right? No matter how they try to twist it, Andrew still is going to be able to answer that question straightforward. And if he keeps up like this, I think all the work is done. I thought he was going to have to maybe practice a little bit up to the next debate. But this shows me that Andrew Yang doesn't need it, really. He's quite competent as he is. He could argue Donald Trump like this with facts, and Donald Trump could try to come with the distractions and the reality TV circus stuff all he wants. But what would happen is Donald Trump would just end up looking it would just look unintelligible compared to somebody like Andrew Yang, who's just hitting home runs with the facts and how to fix this, and he's trying to attack his personality or character or something that really at this point shouldn't matter at all to the American people. We're trying to survive. We're trying to take care of our families. We're trying to clean up the environment. We're trying to stop climate change. We're trying to stay out of wars. The last thing we're worried about is the personality and characteristics of someone and trying to make them look stupid on stage so we're entertained as Americans. That's going to get old, I think, very, very soon, especially with people suffering and needing the government to step it up and create a better situation for us. Also, want to talk real fast about just about celebrity endorsements, right? So we know how important celebrity endorsements are. And when you start getting those, that's when you know you've really arrived, right? So let's see if we can go down the list a little bit. What we got with Andrew as far as celebrity endorsements. Well, of course, the biggest being Elon Musk, or a great one, a celebrity in his own right, tech guru. We know he will actually be meeting with Elon pretty soon here. But also some other people that you've probably heard or maybe haven't heard. Nicolas Cage, the actor, seems to be pretty much a supporter of Andrew Yang. Recently, Chris Jericho. Now, if you don't know who Chris Jericho is, he's the world-renowned wrestler. Started with the WWE, went on to, I believe it's now the AEW Wrestling Federation. And there's a lot of stories and articles being covered in the wrestling world about Andrew Yang. Now, the connection between wrestling and politics, we know that Donald Trump was in WWE. WWE always does these weird exposition type, things with people just coming in and all of a sudden they can wrestle and beat people, right? So you got Donald Trump coming in there. Probably, I think he's inducted into the World Wrestling Hall of Fame, just a lot of crazy stuff. He becomes the president of the United States. Now Andrew Yang is found an endorsement with Chris Jericho as they talked about the AEW Wrestling Federation. Because up until now, like the WWE, I would almost go as far as to say it is a type of monopoly on wrestling, right? And so, Andrew's kind of, encouraging the AEW Wrestling Federation. Also, Andrew has had this connection with mixed martial arts fighters, right? For their unions to make sure like these people are taken care of after their careers are over, like many other sports leagues have. And I think that's important. That makes a lot of sense. So Andrew's been pretty much championing those type of things. So we got Chris Jericho, Nicolas Cage, Elon Musk. Now Whoopi Goldberg also gave if that's not an endorsement, I don't know what is, but she very much was highly supportive of Andrew Yang on The View, to the point it certainly sounded like an endorsement. I don't know this kid's name. He's been in some famous movies. I can't think of his name. Just did one that got a lot critical acclaim. But he is going to be starring as the next, or starring as He-Man in an upcoming Masters of the Universe remake, right? So he's kind of becoming like the it guy, but he's a kind of young guy in Hollywood, and seemingly he endorses Andrew Yang as well. There's several other people. Hannibal Burgess was said, they said he was endorsing Yang, but it looks like it was removed from his Twitter, so I don't know about him. But I'm sure there are other celebrities out there. But this is the starting point to letting us know Andrew Yang has arrived, and I'm sure will be many other candidates who, or rather celebrities, entertainers that start to jump on the bandwagon with Andrew Yang. So just excellent, guys. I thought this was fantastic. This shows me Andrew is ready. And if he does stumble and falter after this, it's not because he's not capable or competent or knows what to say or what to do. Just some kind of weird thing I think happens with him and his environment and the people asking the questions, because the people aren't asking any different questions, right? I guess it's just how they ask it and where they're asking it, right? Because sometimes his, and just like anything, very natural, right? We're not always on our A game every day, right? Everybody has good days and bad days. But I feel confident in knowing, I know that Andrew has it in him. I know that he can be very assertive and very efficient with his points. And I have no doubt now that looking at him in this setting and kind of holding him up against Donald Trump, I can kind of see these two now in a debate setting. Because when it really gets down to him debating Donald Trump, it's going to be more like in a setting like this where he speaks to the crowd and he has this minutes to make his point and Donald has his. It won't be a lot of chaos and talking over people, although it will be some of that. But it will still give a good situation for Andrew to deliver his points effectively to the point that it matters, to where people are going to say, well, yeah, Donald Trump's been doing this circus and playing these strategies. We've watched them do it for 4 years now. And we know what happens after that. But Andrew Yang is someone who's showing that he can solve these problems, and he's sticking and focused to those problems. So I think that's going to be very important going forward. But that's all I want to say about this, guys. Real quick, want to plug BitcoinMYK.com. Many of y'all who watch the channel know it is our universal basic income project using blockchain technology. Blockchain technology uses cryptocurrencies as a way to move value to each and every one of us, where you're your own bank, you control your own money, and it's just a great, great project. You can join us for free. You don't have to give any personal information, any personal data. You can use fake names. You can use dummy emails. We only need unique people, active unique people. So you can sign up, join with us today, and start earning this valuable cryptocurrency that you can trade out to go pay some bills, buy bread, buy food, help to, maybe get you on this next vacation. Whatever the case may be, this project is designed to do this, to grow the value of this cryptocurrency and help you to get in a better spot, okay? So make sure you join. We'll leave a link in the description. And that's all I got to say in this video. If you like content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and until next time, take care.